that we will give him a rousing, typically Bradford welcome to the university. Prime Minister, over to you, and thank you very much for coming to the University of Bradford.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to say that it's a great privilege for Sarah and I to be here at this great university to celebrate its great successes, to say that you've got magnificent students, magnificent staff, a magnificent research record, and you are leading the way in so much of the science that Britain is selling to the world. Congratulations on what you do. Now, tomorrow, our country moves from a month of deliberation to a day of decision. And for Britain, this is not a small decision election, it's a big decision election. And I'm here in Bradford today to talk about the future we are fighting for, to talk about the future we know it is ours to win. And I'm here with Jerry and Marsha Singh to talk about the future of jobs and of industry and the future of skills and employment in our economy. And I want to focus on what I believe this election is above all else about. Because elections are not just contests of individual interests. They challenge us as a country to live up to our ideals. And we stand now not simply as a battleground of party advantage, but we try to seek the high ground from which our country's future can be seen, it can be settled, and it can be shaped. You know me well enough to know that I stand committed to shape that future, not in the image of the best PR and the best marketing, but according to our best ideals and hopes. First, we have unfinished business that must be finished. Our country must secure its economic recovery, and we must do nothing to put that recovery at risk upon which all else depends. I have just seen this morning the report from the European Commission that if we continue to pursue the policies we are pursuing, then Britain will lead Europe in growth and in jobs over the course of the next year. But that is only if we continue to pursue the policies that this government is pursuing. So we cannot afford thoughtless Tory cuts that would lead to British economic contraction. Just at the moment employment is starting to rise, we cannot accept policies based on ideology, not fact, that would force more and more people out of work. And just at the time when growth is rising, we cannot allow recession to return. So tomorrow is the day for us to stand firm for what everybody knows to be true, that you cannot cut your way out of recession, you can only cut your way to another downturn, that you cannot prepare the jobs of the future by robbing from the future to pay for tax cuts for the richest estates in this country, that you cannot equip Britain for the 21st century by turning the clock back on educational opportunity and denying the next generation the 21st education skills they need to compete and win on a global stage. And you cannot prepare Britain for the 21st century if your policies are a throwback to the 1930s. And what sort of time has this been? We have lived through 2 years in which right-wing dogma has not been exonerated but been exposed. We have lived through a year when the banks have shown that free market fundamentalism has not succeeded, but it has failed. And I tell you, this is not a Conservative moment. Everyone knows that when the banks failed, people needed government on their side. Everybody knows that. Everyone except the Conservatives. And everybody knows that when the global recession threatened our economy, that the unemployed and homeowners and businesses needed government to stand by them. Everybody understands that. Everybody except the Conservative Party. And everybody knows that the wrong cuts at the wrong places in the wrong time will risk our recovery. And everybody, I believe, understands that. everybody except the Conservative Party. And everybody knows also that our highest priority should not be tax cuts for the richest estates. Our highest priority should be the NHS, the education, the policing, upon which the safety of our communities depend. Now, everybody knows that. Everybody except the Conservative Party. And I say to everybody who knows about these things that political opportunism is no substitute for economic opportunity, that political posturing is no substitute for an economic program, and political image making is no substitute for the hard work of policy making in this country. And I believe strongly that this election is not just a test of partisan strength, it is a testament to the strength of our country's convictions. And I believe that this election is not just a competition for votes, it is a contest about the values that we hold dear. It's about who we are, what we hope for, what we want for our families, what we want for our future, what we want for this country in the future. And I tell you, it's even deeper than that. It's about principles, it's about compassion, it's about what's in our soul. Because I say to you that you judge the strength of a country not by how it benefits the most wealthy, but how it helps and strengthens the weak. And how it helps those in the middle to rise up and to gain advantage. And you judge the strength of an economy not by how much it helps those who are already strong and the richest, but you judge an economy by how it lifts up those who are poor and how it works for hard-working families. And you judge a society not by how much it satisfies the powerful, but by how much it empowers the powerless and gives everyone a place and everyone a say. And I say to all of you who want to listen, I say to all of you who want to listen, these ideals of justice and fairness are not abstract sentiments to give us comfort. They are beacons to light our way. And I say of this enduring and rock-solid commitment I have to justice and fairness, no commitment has done more to improve the condition of our country and our people. No belief has done more than this to inspire the British people to action and equality. And no ideal has done more to enrich the British people with opportunity, dignity and security. And with the creation of the NHS, with the delivery of educational opportunity, with employment rights for millions, we have been the greatest force for fairness that this country has ever seen. And let's be honest, there's a fundamental difference of philosophy at stake here between two parties. Under the Conservatives, you're on your own. Under Labour, we're on your side. Just think of this. If we had stuck with the you're on your own philosophy, we'd never have had the National Health Service free to all. And when we went back to that philosophy in the 1980s, for 18 years, the NHS was shortchanged, it was slashed, and it was left on its knees. And if we followed the Tory belief that people were best left to fend for themselves without support, there never would have been a minimum wage, far less a rising minimum wage in this country. And if we thought that people did best without the strength of the community around them, there would be no equal rights and anti-discrimination laws as exist to protect decent, hard-working people in this country. And if we had left prejudice to grow in the darkness, there would have been no civil partnerships and no repeal of Section 28. And if the on-your-own philosophy had triumphed over the last 12 years, then there would be no free nursery places for 3-year-olds, no Sure Start children's centres, no extended schools, no child trust funds, and no expansion that we have seen in the numbers we have seen of university, college, and apprenticeship places in this country. And I say if the selfish individualism had triumphed over public investment, we'd never have had the New Deal,